Alright y'all, welcome back to the channel and to some more turkey patterning. And I've got another combination out here today that we haven't tried yet, and one that could produce some decent results, or it could produce some really not so good results as well. But we don't really know unless we try it. So for the setup I've brought out here today, I got this little thing back out again. This is a New England Firearms Pardner model SB-1 youth model 410 with a fixed full choke barrel that is roughly about 395 constriction from what I could measure. And this thing is definitely very short and compact, and it weighs nothing since it's a youth model. So it could make a really good little woods gun or a good little lightweight turkey rig if we find a shell combination that it really likes. So far, I think the herders are still the best. But we've got another load out here to test today, and we'll see what happens with it. And for the ammo I've got out here to test out today, I brought some of these, the Browning 410 TSS loads. These are a 3-inch, 1100 feet per second, 13/16 ounce load of number 9s. Now these have been okay, but they've also been a little bit inconsistent. So we could see some decent results today, or we could see some not so decent results at the same time with these loads. So with that being said, even if it's good or bad, I still want to come out here and test it and see just what it does, because we never know until we try it. So for the test, it's going to be the same as usual. I have a turkey target down there at 40 yards. I also have the chronograph, so we'll see how close we get to the 1100 that's on the box. So let's get you guys a view of the target. We'll take the shot. We'll glance at what kind of speed we had across the chrono, and then we'll go down and see what they did. I really don't know quite what to expect out of this. I don't think it's going to be anything super stellar, to be honest with you, but let's go over here and shoot it and just see what it does. Alright, so that round gave us 1082 through the chrono. The box was claiming 1100, so we were pretty much right there. That's definitely not bad for that short of a barrel, there's no question about that. But how did they actually shoot down range? Let's go take a look and see. Alright, now we're down range here at our 40-yard paper, and this is what we got here. Now, we do have a dead turkey here. There is one in the spine that's right down there that didn't really show up too well in the bright red kind of paint stuff that this target does, but there is one in the bottom of the spine down there. But overall, I think the core of our pattern was high on this guy. But right up here, that's definitely not too terrible. That's one of the better options we've seen for a turkey load through that gun. Now, backing up and looking at the whole target, it's definitely not what you would necessarily call a normal turkey pattern with a hot core area, but that would absolutely get the job done out to 40 on a turkey if the shot was a little bit lower. So that's something definitely to know, and that's why you test out all of your setups before you take it out in the woods, because that particular round shoots high. So I definitely think that if that top area there was centered up a little bit lower on this paper, the pattern would probably look a whole lot better, and there would be multiple shots within the brain and spine area on that turkey. Now, it's still a not ideal setup, and it's definitely not a typical turkey setup when it comes to 410, but that definitely would be capable out to 40 yards. Now, how consistent are those Browning shells? That's a different question. We've seen a few sporadic patterns that just didn't look quite right out of those shells and stuff like that. So when they perform, they seem to do pretty well, but you always have that chance of them just not quite doing what you want. But on the flip side, if you were looking at waterfowl hunting with that setup for small ducks or something like that, that pattern right there would absolutely give you the leeway you'd like. But at the end of the day, I think we accomplished what I set out to find out today, regardless of if we were a little bit high or not. That Browning shell seems to do pretty decent through this very not ideal turkey setup. So I'm definitely pretty happy considering what we're working with today. Okay, and here's the wad out of that shell, and as you can see, it opened up quite far here. But as you see, there's two real nice tungsten pellets sitting right in the bottom there, and that's something that we've seen several times out of these Brownings and even the Remington Premier TSS 410 loads. For whatever reason, maybe it's the kind of buffer they use or the specific kind of plastic they use in these wads, pellets just seem to get stuck in the very bottom down there. And usually you think 2 pellets, that wouldn't make too much of a difference. But with a 410, You kind of need every pellet to count when you're down there at 40 yards sometimes. But the rest of it looks pretty decent here. So nothing really too out of the ordinary to see here, just I would rather not have some of those pellets stuck down in the bottom. Alright y'all, well, what did you think about that performance there? It's definitely not what you would call a necessarily ideal or perfect 410 turkey pattern, but especially if we would have lowered that pattern a little bit on the paper, it would have looked a lot better, I believe. There's definitely enough there to be a turkey killing pattern out to 40 yards. There's no doubt about that. So at the end of the day, is it a perfect turkey pattern? No, but we knew that going into it. But let me know your thoughts about it, and did you expect that or would you use that? I know it's not ideal, but if that's what you had, would you deem that good enough to take out after a turkey? Leave your comments, let me know your thoughts and opinions about it all. But with that being said, I'm going to get back to all the normal testing for you guys and some hunting stuff. So stay tuned because we've got plenty more coming. We do have an Instagram as well where you can see stuff in advance sometimes, little sneak peeks and things. I'll leave it in the description if you would like to go over there and check it out. But I'm going to get back to it, and I'll see y'all in the next one.